Hey you guys, so the holistic groomer, I'm gonna open my sunroof. It's so nice out today. Oh my gosh, it's been a really good day. This is really off topic, but I just have to share this because it's just such a cool thing. My boyfriend was on like the Facebook market and saw somebody like selling a like Nintendo 64, I think, and some games, but it was only like $30. That's why I'm like selling, because it was like pretty much like giving away like all this Nintendo 64 stuff. So we went up there to meet this guy, and he had a Super Nintendo and like all this other stuff. It's like unbelievable, like hundreds of dollars worth of stuff probably. It's just so cool because, okay, we've talked about this. I'm reading The Secret. I'm sorry my steering wheel is dirty. Well, it doesn't look as dirty today, but I work with dogs, okay? So, you know, sometimes things get dirty. It is what it is, okay? But, anyway, I'm just, like, so ecstatic right now because last night we went to GameStop and we went to this, like, new little video game store that's in our mall, and they had like the Super Nintendo and stuff, and I was looking at the games. I was like, man, wouldn't it be so cool to like have a Super Nintendo and a Nintendo 64 and whatever. I like literally had that thought last night, and then this morning he was like, oh, there's this guy with the Nintendo 64, let's go meet him. And he didn't even say that, like the guy did not tell us that he had the Super Nintendo. And Super Nintendo is very nostalgic to me because that's what I grew up on. I didn't have a Nintendo 64, I had Super Nintendo. Anyway, that's not anything to do with the rest of this video, but I was just so excited, you guys. I can't believe it. Anyway, so Holistic Groomer did a video about like how she became a dog groomer, and I was like, you know what? That's a good idea. I should talk about that because I think my story is like unique but not unique at the same time. So let's start at the beginning. First, when I got out of high school, okay, if we're going back even further than that, I grew up, my grandma was doing like animal rescue and stuff like that. She did a lot of stuff with cats. I always wanted a dog. So I grew up, my mom we got a family dog when I was like 16, and he was like very clingy to like my mom, but still loved him, you know. Anyway, so I went to hair school and graduated and got my license and everything. And I don't know, I just never wanted to do it. I never applied at a single salon. It still like blows me away. I never applied at a single salon. So it's not like, you know, I went to like all these salons and they were like, you suck so bad, I would never hire you. Like, no, I promise that's not what happened. I swear. I just never applied at a single salon. So I ended up getting a dog. I was working at Sally Beauty Supply, ended up getting a dog. And his name is Max. I've talked about him many times. So I got my dog, and next thing you know, I really wanted to do something that I could spend more time with my dog. I had this friend that had worked at like a doggy daycare, which I didn't even know was a thing, and she was like, oh, you know, I can help you get a job up there. So I went and applied at this place. It's like a corporate daycare. I don't know if I should say the name, so I'm not going to. But it's corporate daycare, and she helped me get a job up there. And I started working at the daycare, and I would bring Max, and that's when I got Luna, because I was like, you know, Max needs a friend. And since I was working somewhere, I could bring my dogs with me to work. I was like, you know what, I feel like I can handle 2 dogs. So I got 2 dogs, and then I ended up moving almost an hour away. That's when I started dating my current boyfriend. I moved in with him, and it was almost an hour away from the daycare. So I was like, you know, this is kind of, I'm just going to Starbucks. I really wanted to tell this story. This was my plan for today. So I'm going to Starbucks, and you're like, girl, you already have a Starbucks. And you know what? Worry about yourself. I'm sorry. I drink a lot of Starbucks, okay? Worry about yourself. If it bothers you, I'm so sorry. I don't know what to tell you because it makes me happy. So that's what I do. And if you do the same thing, then like, girl, I feel you. You know what I mean? Anyway, so working at Camp Bow Wow, and then moved far away. So I started looking for a job that I could still work with animals, but in Anderson. There were like no daycares near me at all. Like now there is, but at the time there really wasn't any daycares. I think there may have been one, but they were like really small scale compared to the place I was at, because it was corporate. And people had been telling me for a while, they were like, you did hair and you like dogs, why don't you do dog grooming? And I was like, no, little dogs. I'm not into the frou-frou stuff. I just like thought I knew all this stuff, right? So I finally caved because really the only thing in the area was vet's office, which I can't do because I cannot do the blood and guts and gore. It's can't do it. I mean, if you guys can do it, then kudos to you, but I can't even look at, like, I can't even watch, like, gory movies, period. I will not watch gory stuff. I'll just turn it off. I hate it. So that was not an option for me to do a vet tech. So it was either vet place or grooming shop if I wanted to work with animals, or I had to switch and go back to working, like, retail or something, which just never sat right with me. So I started working at a small local grooming shop. I'm not going to name that place either because they were a little wild over there. I feel like one day they're gonna find this video. They probably will, but you know what? Y'all were wild and you know you're fucking wild. So if you find this video, then whatever. You know. Are you surprised? Anyway, so I worked there for a while. They literally, like, first day there, they like handed me a clipper with a 7F blade and they were like, go to town, essentially. And I still, to this day, it blows my mind. If you're not a groomer, 7F, it can be a very dangerous blade. There's, like, gaps. They did tell me to be careful in certain areas. I'll give them that much. But good God, they're like, I think about it all the time. I'm like, they had a girl that was pregnant, and she was, like, about to pop. Like, I think she literally had her baby the week after I got hired. So they needed somebody, like, now to fill in. So they were like, basically, you got to fill in for this girl that's leaving, so you got to know her shit. And they literally taught it in 2 days. You guys, 2 days. And the rest of the stuff I literally taught myself. Like, there was like a time or two they sat me down and like showed me something. Like, I remember one day they sat me down and showed me how to do poodle feet. And we hand scissored a Pomeranian one time, and like that was it. But it was very basic. It was like they taught me enough that I could do the job that they needed me to do, but not enough that I would ever feel confident going out by my own. And they did like take little shots at my confidence. And honestly, that whole place could be a story time in itself, but I'm not going to dig too deep into that because, yeah, we'll be here all day. So let's drop that shop, okay? So things didn't work out. I worked there for a while. I worked there for about a year, and then I asked me and another girl that I worked with there that were like really good friends. We both asked for a raise because we've both been there for about a year, and they basically told us that they did not have the money to do that, which I know is absolute bullshit. So anyway, y'all can suck it. Because like I said, I feel like they'll probably find this video. They're that type of person. They like to like lurk on people. They always know. Like, I remember when I worked there, they would always be talking about like, oh, this person that used to work here. They weren't friends with anybody that used to work there. So that should have been my red flag right there. Anybody that's ever worked there is like, it got some weird past with them. And they were always talking shit about ex-employees. But they would always know what that ex-employee was doing. So that's why, like, hey y'all, if you're here. Anyway, so I quit that place, ended up going back to the corporate store. That is when my grandma, like, we found out, like, she'd been smoking, like, her whole life, and, like, that's a story time in itself, too. But basically, she had COPD, lung failure, it was really bad, and the last, like, we found out she was sick for about a year, and then we lost her, and anyway, that's a whole nother story time. I don't want to dig into that right now. So, she died. I took a year off of everything. I could not work. I, like, shut down after that. I didn't know how to handle it. I'd never lost anybody before, and that was, like, my person. I grew up, my mom lived with us, but my mom had me when she was really young, so I was mostly raised by my grandparents. So, anyway, I was, like, really, really close to her, and that, like, was, like, a shell shock for me. So, I took about a year off, and it's kind of crazy how the universe works, because this is, like, where I really found out that I wanted to be a groomer. So after all that happened, I was like, I just had this like moment of like, oh my God, my grandma died, and I hadn't even done anything with my life. You know what I mean? I don't want to get too into this and get all upset, but it was like, it hit me hard because I was like, oh my God, like, you know, she never got to see me be successful. So this person's like following me so closely, like, you know, they're just having a day, but it's all right. I'm not even mad about it. So anyway, I like was like, I need to figure out what I want to do. I decided, I had basically the groomer from where that corporate place that I worked, she had went off, started her own business, and it was like right around the time I decided I was definitely going to go back to work. I had actually been thinking about like, I'd applied at Ulta and got a call back for an interview, and I was like, well, maybe I'll go work at Ulta. And then that groomer messaged me, and she was like, you know, what if we like, I teach you how to groom. And basically, I was like, well, let me do this interview at Ulta. The Ulta interview, that's a story time. That was really funny. So anyway, that didn't work out. That's a whole other thing. So anyway, I ended up calling back that groomer, and I was like, all right, let's do this. So I started working with her, showed her, same thing, like, first day that I was there, she just, like, was like, all right, groom a dog, I want to see what you can do. So at least at that point I had some experience. I will give her that one. So she, like, had me groom, and she's like, okay, so, like, you get it, like, this really isn't going to take me very long to teach you, and blah, blah, blah. So worked with her for a little bit, and it just didn't work out. It's not, like, there's no hard feelings. Like, I still, am friends with her on Facebook and stuff. But yeah, it just didn't work out. And I ended up leaving her, went to another shop that I worked at for 3 days. I feel like this is leading to a lot of story times I don't know if anybody cares about. So if you care about these story times, if you want to hear these, I have some funny ones, some funny grooming shop, like, horror stories. I could have a series. I really could. So I worked with this crazy lady for 3 days, and I got hired, like, right before Christmas. She was wild at this one shop. Oh my goodness. So anyway, me and her ended up getting in a really big fight, like, 3 days in, which, if you know me, is so hilarious because I, like, don't fight with anybody. But this woman, like, I think she, like, knew that I wasn't the type that, like, would start, like, fights. So anyway, that's another story. I'm not even gonna go into that. So that was right before Christmas. I decided I was going to make it through Christmas. I was like, no decent grooming shops are going to be hiring right now. And keep in mind, at this point in time, I did not think I knew how to groom. Like, not enough that I thought I could go out on my own. Everywhere I'd been, it was like, now that second groomer I worked with, that I was friends with, she did teach me some faces and stuff, because the first place I worked, they taught me all the body stuff, but they didn't ever let me do heads. They made me think that heads and faces were, like, for special people. I don't know what I thought, but I didn't think I could do it. I'll tell you that much. Didn't have a lot of confidence in myself, so, and I still don't, but it's something I'm really working on. So I made it through Christmas, and I went out, started applying places, I got hired at PetSmart, and it didn't sit right. I never even, like, went up to, like, finish the paperwork. I had always said that I never wanted to work at PetSmart. I'd always said that. So, and then, like, next thing I know, I'm, like, working at PetSmart, and I never even, like I said, never even went up and finished my paperwork. Like, they said I had the job, and I was gonna go, and then I just was like, no, this is not for me. And then I went out, and I had 3 resumes printed, and I went to the first place. That lady was super weird. She was very rude, and basically said she didn't have any dogs for me to groom. So I was like, all right, girl, bye. I went to the second place. They took my application but never called me back. And the third place is the place I'm currently working. They did not have a groomer, period. They needed a full groomer. And here I am, no confidence in myself. I'm like, how could I do that? And I ended up just going for it. I was like, I'll teach myself. Because I had worked under other groomers, I'd seen their ways of doing things. Some of the groomers I worked under were, like, really old school and did things, like, in a kind of way that I probably wouldn't do, you know. So anyway, I was like, I'm gonna teach myself. There's plenty of ways, by the way, if you didn't know this, there's plenty of ways to teach yourself to groom online. You can go to learntogroomdogs.com. You can go to YouTube. YouTube's free. You can go to Groomer TV on YouTube, and it's literally them filming at the convention centers. So if you can't afford to go to the convention centers, you don't even have to pay. You can find those classes on YouTube, or you can find them on, like, the wall page, and, like, there's so many places that you can go and find free grooming information. So please, 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 if you're having, and another reason I think I need to tell this story is I was actually talking to another groomer. Now I can't remember her name. I feel so bad. I'm so sorry if you're watching this, but she was telling me, sorry, excuse me, truck man, your truck is so loud. Anyway, so she was telling me, she went essentially through the same thing. She posted on her Instagram story that she had essentially, and I'm sorry, I talk really fast, especially when I'm excited. So if you're like, good God, like, I'm I'm sorry, I don't really know what to tell you. I talk fast when I'm excited. I'm sorry. Anyway, she told me she went through the same thing, that nobody would teach her how to groom. So I just want you to know, if you're in that boat, nobody's teaching you how to groom. What are you doing, sir? He's just living his life. Whatever. He's having a good day. I'm having a good day too, sir. Anyway, so if you're in this boat that you feel like you can't find anybody to show you how to groom, like, you can teach yourself, girl. Like, there are so many places. That's why I'm doing these videos. That's like one of the main reasons I'm doing these videos, is because I want to teach people how to groom, because it was something that was so difficult for me to just find somebody to show me how to groom. Okay, I gotta order my drink at Starbucks. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm gonna pay on my watch, so we're good. Like, so technology. Oh my god, like, isn't it so crazy? Like, I was doing the talk to text thing on my Apple Watch the other day, and I was like, this would have been my dream in the 90s. Like, I honestly, when I used to watch shows like that in the 90s, I never even thought that was going to be a thing I would see in my life, that people would talk to their watches. Like, isn't that so crazy? Anyway, so I wanted to start these YouTube videos because it's really hard to get people to show you how to groom. And then, a part of my story I forgot to say was, before I got the job with that lady I worked with for 3 days, I decided I was just gonna go try it. Oh, it was in between that, the crazy lady and my friend. Like, I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna go to grooming school and I'll learn the rest of what I need to learn. And then I realized I didn't really need to learn that much. I already knew a lot of it. And it was like, I was really at a point, like, I'd never done, like, doodles. That was all I didn't know how to do. So, hold on. Let's do this. Look, we're so technological. There we go. Struggling with that today. They're gonna be like, who the fuck is this girl talking to? So, I feel weird now. I feel like they're looking at me, so I don't really want to talk. Sorry, I sniff a lot. You know, I didn't even know I did that until I started recording myself, and I'm always just sniffing all over you guys. I'm sorry. Especially like when I'm working, because I think I get hair and stuff in my nose. So yeah, in between that time, I decided I was going to go to grooming school. Well, I looked it up. There is no grooming school close to me at all. And I was like, well, what the heck? And then, like I said, I pretty much knew everything except for, like, I don't know hand stripping. I'd never done a doodle. I'd, like, done some poodly, like, I'd had some experience with some, like, poodle type coats, but not as much. I'd done a lot of Shih Tzus and Yorkies and stuff like that. So anyway, Cindy girl, I know these people at Starbucks pretty well. I like this store. They know me by name. It's, you know, like I said, like, I'm a huge fan of Starbucks, and if you have an issue with that, I'm really sorry. I don't know if we can be friends. I'm just kidding, we can still be friends if you don't like Starbucks, but I'm just saying I like it. So if that's an issue for you, I don't know what to tell you. But, so I'm trying to, like, watch my watch so that the barcode thing doesn't go away. Oh, she's shaking. All right. Okay, so I went to these grooming schools. There was one that was like 2 hours away. I don't know. I think it would have been an okay school, but I think it was really meant, well, obviously it was meant for somebody that was, like, starting at knowing nothing. And hey. Awesome. Thank you. Have a good day. You too. You guys. Okay, so I ordered the venti iced matcha. They gave me a Trenta, I can tell. I'm so excited. I'm telling you, it's a good day, okay? So, I'm trying to think, is there really anything I guess that's like how I got where I'm at, right? Like, I feel like we've really covered it. And then over the last year, I've just, like, been teaching myself some things. I've been going to the Atlanta Pet Fair. That's the closest place to me. I'm in South Carolina, so that's kind of unfortunate because I'm not near a lot of things. You know what I want? I'm going to put this out in the universe right now. I want to go to the Big Groom show in Hershey, Pennsylvania. That's what I want. I want to go there. And it's also, sorry, I need to put this straw down, or you're just waving it in your face. It's Sorry. So I really want to go to the World Pet Show thing, and like I said, it's on like last year was literally during my birthday. Like, I'm just gonna put it out in the universe. If some brand wants to fly me out to Hershey, Pennsylvania to come do something for you at the Groom Show, I would love to go. I'm just gonna put it out there. I'm just saying. If you guys need a groomer to come to the Groom Show, I'm a groomer that wants to go to the Groom Show. I'm just saying. So I'm like so hyped up today, you guys. I think like I was already like I woke up in a good mood today, and then we got that like awesome deal of like all this stuff, and I'm just still like freaking out about that. I'm just like on this like good energy right now, you know what I mean? So anyway, I don't think I really missed anything in my story. Like basically started off doing human hair. I went to a couple different places that didn't work out, and then I ended up at this place. I've been here for a while. It's been pretty good. You know, it is what it is. I like being the only groomer, and I think that was important for me because back to the confidence thing, I had zero confidence. I didn't even think, I remember I was so insecure when I got this job. I didn't even think I could groom. And then, like, I just had to do it. Like, I didn't have any choice. I didn't have anybody else there to help me or to, because, like, I'm also so bad that if I do better when people aren't watching me. I don't know what it is. Sorry, that was, like, really hard for me to, like, spit out, and that sentence didn't make any sense at all. But I really, if there's somebody, like, watching me, I mess up so bad. But if I can just, like, do it on my own, and I'm, like, free to do whatever, then I, like, do so much better. And I think that's why I've been so good in my shop. And a lot in my area, not every groomer, but there's a lot of groomers in my area that learned how to groom 10 plus years ago, haven't taken a single class since, and they're like, basically, I know everything. And you know what I mean? I mean, if you think so, but I would recommend a few classes. I've said this before, but I don't think you should ever get to a point in your life with anything that you think you know everything about it. I'm sorry, I'm just going to say it, because you don't. You don't. Even if you're an expert, there's a new research and new everything coming out every single day, okay? I'm just saying. Sorry. I hope that I'm not like, you know what? I don't care. If I'm getting on your nerves, then don't subscribe to me, okay? We can't be friends. But I don't want to be one of those people. Maybe I shouldn't say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. I don't want to, like, be one of those people that's like, subscribe to my videos, like my stuff, blah, blah, blah. I've had very good luck since I've started my channel, seriously, since I've really, like, dug in and actually started posting things. I've had really good luck with people just naturally liking and commenting and subscribing. So I'm just saying, I'm not going to shove it down your throats, because I know I get really tired of that when I'm watching videos. Like, yeah, if I like you, I'm going to subscribe, and if I like your video, like, honestly, I'm at the point that if I click on a video, I try to remember to like it. I do it like on autopilot all the time. I'll pull up a video and just like automatically like it, and I'm like, oh, then I'll go to like it later, and I'm like, oh, I already liked it. So anyway, I just try to help people out, and I don't care if you like my videos, then you'll like them. I don't need to like tell you that, and I don't know why this even has anything to do with anything. I'm sorry, this is not anything to do with why I started grooming, but yeah, and then as far as getting on YouTube, just in case anybody's like, well, why, like, who, I don't know, do you even care why I'm on YouTube? I'm going to tell you anyway, okay? I have been watching YouTube since YouTube became, like, YouTube, and it was, like, a thing, and I've always wanted to do videos, but I was like, who cares? And the truth is, there's already people out there that care. I have, like, subscribers that, like, watch my videos already, and they comment on them, so they care, okay? And I care. I care what I have to say. Yeah. Anyway, I really wanted to be, I'm sorry, again, if you don't like me, I really don't know what to tell you, because the one thing about this channel that I really, really wanted to be, like, transparent on is me. I want to be myself, okay? I'm not trying to act like anybody else, because I can't do that long term, okay? And neither can you. Don't act like somebody that you're not. So, if you like me, then you like me, and if you don't, you don't. And I don't know what to tell you. Go find a different YouTuber you like better, I guess. But yeah, anyway, I'm just rambling at this point about nothing, so I'm sure you guys are tired of listening. But thank you guys so much for watching. Yeah, and I'm gonna keep uploading videos, and I hope you guys like them. So, yeah, hopefully this was a fun video for somebody. I don't know. Maybe somebody was curious about how I became a dog groomer. And if you didn't know, now you know. That's how I became a groomer. I couldn't do vet tech because I'm squeamish, and training's not for me. I guess I didn't touch on that. Dog training's like, okay, grooming and dog training go hand in hand. So I do care about dog training in a sense, but that's not what I would want to do full time. I think dog training is really hard. I appreciate people that can do that, but I don't think I would want that to be my full-time thing. I really enjoy grooming. It's also made me feel so creative, because I've never thought of myself as a creative person, because I can't draw or anything like that, or paint. I don't know. I've never thought of myself as an artistic person until I started grooming. So it's really built my confidence in my artistic abilities, you guys, okay? If you don't think you're artistic, give yourself a shot, okay? Because you are. I didn't think I was artistic, and I like look at my grooms sometimes, and I impress the hell out of myself. I don't think I've even said this, but I've been full-time grooming, like the amount of time I say, like I've been grooming, I guess it's like between 2 and 2.5 years now. I'd have to like sit down and think about it, because it's like split up. Like I did a year at one shop, and a couple months at a different one, and then I've been at this one for over a year now. So anyway, I guess it would be like about 2.5 years now that I'm really thinking about it. So anyway, I've been grooming forever, you know, and I think I'm pretty good at it. I'm pretty confident in it. I'm not the best groomer out there. There's definitely better groomers, but I think I'm pretty damn good at it for only doing it for 2.5 years. I'm just gonna toot my own horn for a second, okay? Anyway, I think I've rambled on long enough, and I've touched on why I am doing dog grooming and not anything else. And I don't know if I even need to say this, but going back to anything that wasn't dog grooming is just not for me. The makeup world, I could do a video on that. That might be interesting to somebody, like why I did dog grooming instead of like wanting to do makeup. Not that I think I'm an amazing makeup artist or anything, but that was something I dabbled in a little makeup. I'm not professionally, but that's what I originally wanted to make my YouTube for. I thought it was gonna be a booty guru, but here I am grooming dogs. I think there's a reason for that. I'm gonna do a video on that. I think that'd be cool, like why because isn't that such a big jump? Like I went from like wanting to do human hair and makeup to like doing dog grooming. That's a pretty big jump, if you ask me. Anyway, y'all are probably tired of hearing me talk, so I'm so sorry. For the 10th time, I'm actually going now. Bye.